Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 6 in our series. It was the night before Christmas and now it's going to be called Let It Snow. We'll talk about that in a minute. And when we left off, we had finished this section pretty much. Then I decided that the little golden book was not going to fit aesthetically in with this kit the way Jody got hers to work in her trifold. So we're just going to make a straight up lap book and using this paper pad set called Let It Snow. So we're going to change the name of the project to Let It Snow. I'm sorry for those of you who watched this far waiting for the golden book. I was disappointed too. I've already taken it apart and prepped part of it and everything, and it's just not going to work. It's not going to work with the cover and a couple other places as well. So here's what I've done off camera since I saw you the last time. I added this larger bow, and that's to tie this whole thing from flapping open. Okay. Then in this part right here, I went back in and added acetate belly band with a card that has a sticker on it. And over here is a side pocket with a card. And in here, I added a card. Now the cards are blue, and it was only later that I realized that I had a bunch of these that I hadn't cut out yet. I used the heavier acetate to make these, and it makes it really hard to work with. You can't really slide them up very well, but they do definitely stay in. Okay, so I finished all of this. Okay. Then I went through the rest of it. Come here. So then I went through the rest of it. This is going to go on the left side of the bigger pieces in the back of the book. And on here, I finished this off and I added the card. On here, I added the card with a decoration. And on the backs of here, I added pockets and cards, or a card to the pocket, a card to the pocket. I added this little Noel on as a belly band. I could probably replace this with something from in here that's small enough. Anyway, I'll go back and look. And then on this page here, I went ahead and did not put the flat back on. I decided it just was too big. It looked too blank. And at this point, I was running low on paper, believe it or not, for this project, knowing that we had to do the second half and 2 more sections of the book. So I haven't made a card for here either. And I'm not sure if I'm going to. I might just leave it blank. And then wait and see how we are for thickness. I'd like to put a small journal in there. So we'll see. Okay. Then on this side is the big change. This is the same. This is different. What I did was since we weren't going to use the little golden book, I didn't like our antique Santa that we had here. So our vintage Santa that was just from a kit. So I covered it with this paper right here. I put on an acetate belly band, and then I added this card, which could have made the card a little bit wider, but I really like the bears. And if I'd cut it any wider, you would have seen bare butts and bare feet. Bare feet. I also covered this with blue. It was red. We still are going to see a little bit of the red in here. There's nothing I can do about that. A little bit of the red paper back there. The rest is the same as the card, and I left the music paper in because it was Jolly Old St. Nicholas. I did replace it with Jolly Old St. Nicholas, and instead of cutting off the music at the bottom, I folded the page in half. Okay, so these are all the things I did off camera to give you an idea of things that you can do to go back and finish off everything. I also discovered that when I put it in the cover, the charm that I thought was so cool to have the tag stick out over the edge, duh, this is the size right here, is in the way. So if I lay it up here like this, when I put it in the book, then everything fits fine. Okay? So there's that. Let's see how quick I can tie this. If it's going to take a second, then I'll tie it later. If I do it without trying to hold it down, I seem to do much better. Well, bow's not going the right way like this one, but anyway, so that's that. Let me set it to the side. I've got what I call a safe space, which is way away from the work area, to set things when they're completed, sections, so that they don't get in the way. Now, one other thing is that, let's see, okay. So one other thing you want to keep in mind is that our covers are also 8 by 8. And so I forgot, I wasn't thinking about it, but we have 8 covers. We have 4 on the inside and 4 on the outside to cover. Now, since we're not using the little golden book, this is going to be our image on the cover of our book. Okay, and then I had to go through here because the 12 by 12s have the same images, but they're bigger. So it's harder to get them to work on an 8 by 8 page because you're cutting 4 and 4 off, and then anyway, you get my point. So I'm actually ending up having to order another one of these. So like I said, this is getting to be a very expensive book. You may want to, unless you're going to sell it, you may want to think about that. Okay, so now I've made the new section. There was no reason to show you because it's just like the other one, only backwards. So this is the page that I chose, and I have them to where they open towards our giant spine in the middle. Okay, and this is the one I chose for the back on this side. Then I went through and I numbered them: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we still have a ways to go even on this one. Now I went ahead and did page 8 because it was just tucks. And I haven't put any cards in here yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I may just leave it like that. But each one of these is a tuck. Normally I would go solid print, solid print, solid print. But I used up my scraps this way. Okay, so right now we're going to start with page 7. We're going to have 2 pockets with policy closures. So that's pretty straightforward. This is our paper right here. It's going to go on here. So we can set this aside for right now. Lost my safe spot. There's other safe stuff in the safe spot. So then we're going to need brads. We're going to need 4. No, we're going to need 2. I made extra ones of these. That's all right. We won't use those. We won't need those. So we're using the one page that other than the blue with the poinsettias, which I was able to use on that page with the all the tucks. And then I covered a bunch of it with the sticker, and I covered the rest of it with those tucks, and you don't see that much of it, but it uses that paper. Is this one. I love this one. It's one of my favorite ones, but it just doesn't fit in. There's no other birds on any of the other pages. It's not that it doesn't fit into the Christmas and Very Merry and all that. It just, in my opinion, did not fit the motif. So we're going to put one pocket here. We're going to put the other pocket here. And then we're going to make the flaps, the expandable sides, the circle loops, or the brad and circle closures. Let's see what I want to do here. I want to do that. And then we have our string. And I went ahead and made our expandable sides ahead of time. You're welcome. Now, these are going to be the flaps. And I didn't cut them because, well, we had to have something to do. Couldn't do everything ahead of time. I mean, I could have, but it wouldn't have made a very good video, huh? All right. So what we want to do is we want the flap to come down about this far. Oh wait, we need to score these at 1/2 inch. I almost forgot. They're not flat. So we're going to score them at 1/2 inch. And they're almost the width of the page. I bend it this way, the way it wants to bend, and then I'll bend it back. Okay, so that way the page is, the pocket's going to be like that. And make sure that you score the bottom of the paper. That's why I chose a solid for the top. And this is going to be the back. So it's not too bad. There's no other green with a okay backing color. You'll notice this is also the bird paper. I could have done this and made hidden pockets, but I just didn't like that. Okay. Got 3 blades for this thing. One for cardboard, one brand new titanium blade, and one score. Okay, so we're going to want the flap to come down about, let's see, there's the birds. Let's have the birds' heads show. Looks to be about 1 inch. Yeah, it's 1 1/8 inches. So let's call it 1 inch. And then let's make it go 1 inch down inside. And then we'll just score it halfway. Well, it's going to be up just a little bit. But that way when you kind of glance into the pocket, you see the back side of the paper. So let's call it 2 1/4 inches just to be safe. Let's just do one. I thought I measured these and they were the same. Now I know I marked it on there. Where did I mark it? There it is. Now it's just a hair wide. Pretty soon we're not going to have any pocket at all. I'm okay with it being a little bit wider. Okay, so let's cut the other one the same size. And that was 2 1/4, right? Now if there's writing on this, which I can't remember if there is or not, yes. So we'll have to remember to put the flap on so that it opens up and the words are right side up. And not like this, which is upside down. Well, actually it doesn't matter because there's Merry and Bright going that way. And then there's Jingle All the Way going that way, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got those cut. And we wanted it to be 1 inch long on the front. So let's score it at 1 inch. Should roll my sleeves up too. Roll my sleeves up and get to work. Okay. Score it at 1 inch. Okay. So that means we want to fold it like this. And see the little bit longer's in the front, which I think we wanted it to be inside the pocket. We'll have to take a look and see. Yep, that's too short. Well, it looks like either way. I'm not really sure how that happened, but I'm going to put the longer side on the inside. So what we're going to do next is let's figure out where we want our envelopes. I want the bottom one to be as far away from the bottom as the top one is from the top. That makes sense. And I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, so we're going to go about there. You know, I wonder how much glue I have on the corner. Should have mitered the corners on these. We should do that on the flaps as well. Okay, this one's here. Okay, let's make sure it's straight, which it's not. Even from side to side, which it is. Let's see how that looks. Well, let's wait and see. I don't want to miter the front. In fact, I want to round the front. Alright, so there's that one. Let's glue this one on. I know what I forgot to do. And bring this string out from under the bottom. I just eyeballed the center. Obviously this is way too long. I just wanted to cut a piece real quick. Almost forgot. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Glad I caught it in time. What is it? Miss Paintalot says Miss P makes mistakes, so you don't have to. Okay, we're going to line the string up. Put a little dot of glue there. I know where it's going to go. I can see where the glue is. I don't need it to be that far up in the pocket. And it won't matter because you won't see it. Okay. Look how long those are. You can floss your teeth with those. Okay. Now let's put the flaps on. Then we'll open it up and put the expandable sides on. very pretty. Did I only trim one pocket down? I did. It's okay. One bigger one and one smaller one. I can live with that. I can't live with it being that crooked though. Forgot I cut that little bit off. I don't know what my problem is. Such a simple procedure. Put on pockets with string, put on flaps. Attach circle and brads. That's the end. The end. I mean, I wouldn't mind it if the top one was bigger, but I made the flap bigger, or the other flap was bigger. I just don't know. Now these are the same width. And this is just a smidge bigger than the other one, which is the same as the other one. Good grief. All right, shall we glue this pocket on for the third time, do you think? Third time's a charm. At least the string stayed. That was bad luck to say that, I'm sure. This thing's never going to come off with all the glue that's on there now. Okay. Let's put the flaps on. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I have a gap so you can put stuff in and out. Okay. Slide this down in here. Make sure you have it open so you can get it straight. And you can get the gap between the top of the pocket and the crease on the flap even across. It's cute. It's barely big enough for our circle, but it is. Yahoo! side. Okay. Now our strings are lined up. Let's see if we can still round these corners. My dog has lost his mind. We want to put these little guys in here that make it expandable. We need 2 for each one. All this is a 1-inch wide piece of coffee dyed paper, and I folded it so it looks like this. So I folded it in half, and then I folded each side up. Okay, so we're going to put some glue. You want the pointed side to face out. Since we're going to be gluing them to here, then we're going to glue the side with the point facing that way when we're gluing. Right, so I'm just put that on here. And I forgot I cut them. You want to line it up right along the edge. Okay, let's cut a little bit off each one of these. I can hardly wait to do the next page. And throw W facing out. I think what I'll do, in the interest of time, is I'll do the bottom pocket, and then I will let you do the, the top pocket is exactly the same, and I'll do it off camera. Now we're not going to put a circle and brad closure here because our string comes out from under here. Do you see what I mean? So it's okay to go ahead and close it up at this point without punching any holes or anything. I'd like to punch something. Those darn jammy sleeves, huh? Okay. That's all you do. Put glue on the other side and smudge it forward, and there it goes. Okay, so now we've got this. We've got our string. So let's make a dot in the center. Kind of hard to see it. This should work, but it's not. What was I thinking? Pokey tool. Mine has a cork on it. I got this from Lisa, Lisa's Paper Lace and Bling, and she sent it with cork on it. She knows me. Alright, so I'm going to take the pokey tool and poke a hole where the... It's almost easier than the crocodile, huh? Make sure it's big enough because the brads are kind of... Not sure that's going to fit through there. I have one that's a little bit bigger around. I have an awl. Let me get that. And it's bigger around here, so I can make a bigger hole. Yeah, that's better. Oh, we do need these two. I have to cover the brad on the inside, the little legs. Well, and on a side note, that made a hole exactly the size as the crocodile made the hole in this circle. You just push that through, open the little feet, push it down. That little hole isn't exactly in the center, is it? Then you want to take this one and, oh no, I poked holes in all of them. Then you want to take, oh I know, we'll take a sticker or something off of our sticker sheet. I've got some little, oh, that snowflake is too small. Anyway, I'll do that. Or I may just leave them. They're not that big. It's not that bad. I mean, you know, it's not that it's bad if you see them. I mean, that the world is not going to end. And then you just bring this up around here. And you really only have to do it that once, but if you want to do it one more time, you can. And then you want to trim it off. I have enough for another one now. Okay, and that's exactly how we're going to do the top one. So you're going to poke the hole, make this mark, poke the hole, put in the brad in the circle, tie the string. That's all you have left to do. And put the little sides in. Okay, so I'm not going to glue that one in the book until I get this part done. I'll paper clip it. Okay. Let me grab the other one. And it is going to take us longer than 20 minutes. So because of my bumbling, but I think that turned out cute. Let's set this over in our safe zone. Now this one, see, I got pokey tools everywhere. This one is going to be a gatefold. It's going to go back here. And what I've done, here's our paper right here. Okay. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. So we don't need this for right now. And remember that other one we just did was going to go in here, and that'll be pretty. We're still going to have to tie a bow around to hold the whole thing shut. But since we got the space between the two pockets, this one I'll tie the bow around it this way on the whole thing to hold it shut. Okay. So the point of this one was to take 2 envelopes, which I did, and cut the holes with the Big Shot and put in the acetate, which I told you I was going to do off camera, and I did. I did it for both. And one's going to go this side of the paper, right? We're going to glue it back together. One goes on this side. We have this. I think that's going to turn out nice. Now, you have to, the trick to this is a non-windowed envelope. You paper the front first, then you take your die and cut out the hole, and then you don't have to worry about cutting the paper around an envelope with the little bitty window already in it. Now, the only trouble that I ran into was that I had measured the die against the outside of the window, not even thinking about where the blades are. So the picture ended up a little bit smaller than the window. Can't have that. So I mounted them on these blue cards. They're very pretty. I mounted them on these blue cards, and then we're going to use that to put them on the insides of the envelopes. Now, I was going to make them pockets. I'm wondering about putting things in and out, if they're going to hit this, if we should just make them decorative. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make pockets out of them. So what we want to do is going to put glue at the top and the bottom. There's acetate there. You don't need it on the sides. We just want to hold it in. You know when you're sticking a photograph behind the mat, and you just tape the top and the bottom to hold it in? Alright. This one goes this way. Let's make sure our picture's right side up, is my point. So I'm going to stick it on here, and I'm going to flip it over and get it, wow, get it all lined up. And it's not going to be exact. There's going to be a little bit of blue that you see at the top and the bottom. Okay, now we can glue the envelope back together. That's why the back is not papered. I think I went up farther than the paper. Yep, just a little bit. I went through and inked the envelopes all the way around the inside of the crease with the Uncharted Mariner. Okay, so this one's our left one. And do the same thing on this one. And remember to put it on the front, the glue on the front. My glue all over me. Okay. Put this. See, I marked them top. Just in case. I'm going to center it. Make sure it's straight. And this is just the cardstock that we had used all throughout the book. I'm going to go ahead and do an altered little golden book. I'm not sure I'm going to get it done for this Christmas. We'll see. If I do, it's going to be so late you won't be able to redo, do one yourself following the tutorial, but you will be able to use it as reference. I've never done one before. I've seen one done. This time I'm going to look at the glue on the paper to see how far up to glue. Okay. Now we have to glue or cover the backs. I cut this, it was the side strip on the page that you cut apart. These were all supposed to be cut apart. Then I measured it to the top and bottom so we can use it for a belly band. And then it just so happened it came out right at perfectly that we got 4 pictures and nothing got cut off, and I'd have to use something else instead, so it worked out nice. So let's paper the backs of these. No, let's put our magnet on. Kind of like the Santa one on top. I meant it to be the other way, but I like Santa. Okay. You know what? Why don't we glue them in? As long as we haven't covered the backs, we're good. And I got these envelopes that are white on the inside. They don't have the security print. Oh, for goodness sakes. Alright, fine. Little hair dog. A little bit of Oz in the book. Probably came off my shirt. Okay. Very nice. The Fabri-Tac stays wet, but it's the glue from the peel off that's giving me trouble. Otherwise, I could just slide it up and down a little bit. Wasn't even that far off. That'll work. That'll work. Very nice. Okay, so now on the front one, we want to put a magnet here. That card's pretty thick. I hope we don't have to try to use a Velcro dot because that just wouldn't work. Well, it would if we put one at the top and at the bottom. Try not to get glue on here. Maybe if I put the magnet far enough in, it'll hold it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine anyway. So you have to think about that when you're using magnets. They are only so strong depending on the brand and the, what is it, pound per square inch or something that it holds. It's a good thing this is thin paper. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work fine. Now we're going to paper the backs. I'll do one, and then I'll do the other one off camera. For goodness sakes. Look at that, I dropped it, and then look. Okay. So we're just going to do this like you would anything else that we're covering in the book. A little bit in. A little bit up. I'm going to use acetate pockets, I think, because this is all pretty decorative. I don't think I want to introduce anything else unless I just use dark green. I've got a couple of scraps of the dark green solid, so I think I might use that. I like the idea of using the acetate though. I do have this color, but see, I think that's just another, it's this pattern pretty much. It's the smaller version in green. Almost lost my mark. Before we did this section, this is all I had for scraps. I've been using scraps and everything, so out of all those pages that we've done so far, that's all the scraps I have. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. Still needed more paper though. See, I could have put this here, but I just thought that was just too dull. You know, there's not enough, because this matches that, all that, but I just didn't like it. I like the festivities. It's Christmas. I was going to use a different backing paper and then use an acetate Billy Band. I have been liking using acetate more. You can see what's underneath. You don't have to worry about, you know, covering things up. As soon as you take your card or whatever out, then there's your item. So I'm going to take a piece of acetate and make a pocket. Keep all your acetate scraps too. That will work. Let's see if an 1/8 of an inch was what I needed. Nope, 1. This side's a little crooked. Which way is it crooked? Everything is so staticky with this tape. Oh, for goodness sakes. Usually I can see the reflection. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble all of a sudden. I'm going to put something very small in this pocket, that's for sure, once the glue spreads out. Okay, so you'll do that on the other side, only a little more gracefully probably. And it looks like that sticks out just a little bit. And you put the belly band on. Yeah, I like that. So we got half of 2 pages done. I think I was having a day. I was trying to hurry and get it done in an hour. It looks like this is a little short, but I'm not gonna change anything about it. So then we're gonna need a card and a card for here. Okay, and then yeah, let's put this puppy in the book. And then you'll need to finish the pocket on page 7 and glue it in the book. Oh, I'm not going to glue that in the book yet. That's so silly. So I'm going to finish those 2 small parts. I'm going to cover the back of this, and then yeah, I think that turned out good. And then I'll probably put some of the stickers or some kind of, you know, something in there, something in there on the tops, and then finish the pocket on page 7, and then put both of them in the book. I really like that. I wasn't sure if I was going to like that or not, but I really do, even though they overlap. So, okay, well that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.